I so let's go. Okay, so let me connect this shit. I let me join my live. Oh, let's go. Okay, so shit. Close. I don't give a fuck. Okay, so I'm just going to like show y'all his kit because I don't know it for sure. I'm gonna tell y'all what I know. What I know is damn. What I know is he's going to be low disk space. It called me out. I don't give a shit. He's supposed to be a aerial support, which I don't know how it would work, right? And I don't want to be like that person's like, oh, if you've never touched support, you don't need to play Ultron. No, brother, as a support main, obviously, if you play DPS and you think Ultron might be the support for you, go for him, bruh. I hate that one trick shit, dude. I encourage you to at least learn a support, especially now more than ever, considering no one wants to play him. But if you've never played support before, I don't think Ultron is the best choice for you. Because I feel like he's just going to play... So, let me explain why. Because if I just say it, it's going to come out wrong. So, he's supposed to be a flying aerial, and he's also supposed to be a support. The only way I see that working is if he has a higher damage output compared to base healers, or if he has a higher a higher health bar, right? Because I think all the supports have 250, right? So if you got, I feel like he's going to need a bigger health bar if he's going to be aerial, or he needs to do more damage because he's going to be exposed. And look, Iron Men, don't really focus on them. They can be an issue, but not all the time, right? But Ultron would be an issue because he's a support. So he sits in heal, so you're going to... Grounded supports get targeted already, obviously. Brother, aerial, you're going to have everyone on you. You're going to have Wolverines, Iron Fist, all of them. You're just exposed all the time. So you wouldn't really be able to utilize high ground like that. And then if they have an Iron Man, all it's going to take is his beam and he solos for real, right? So a lot of people are going to play Ultron like Iron Man, where you get high in the sky and you deal damage. That's not going to work. I can tell you that right now. That will not work with Ultron. You are going to get targeted, most definitely, right? The only way I can see him working is if you fly low to the ground. I feel like you're going to be lower to the ground the whole time, which is cool, right? Right? Obviously, or kind of like Rocket and Iron Man, they need to give him like a booster or something where he can like fly away, and his flying probably needs to be quicker than Iron Man's for real, right? But you're gonna have a lot of people play him like a DPS. The people already do it with Rocket. You're either heal botting with Rocket or you're using Rocket as a DPS. People definitely do it as Jeff, right? People, I've seen DPS Adam Warlocks, like, and that's how people are going to play Ultron. Everyone's excited for him, but it's like, if you've never touched a support, Ultron's going to be your first support. I'm telling you right now, you need to find something different, bro, because because even for support mains like myself, my cousin, like a few other people I know, as support mains, we will probably have a hard time with Ultron because the aerial is going to be such a big learning curve for us. My aim sucks as like Rocket. I don't have good aim because I'm used to aiming down sights and letting loose, right? But you can't in Rivals. So unless you're unless you're Black Widow, but you can't adjust the zoom. You're just zoomed in 100% all the time, and I don't like that. But like, I'm about to look at his kit because I'm just telling you, as far as I know, he's going to be an aerial support, and he's probably going to be hard to play. His survivor, it's either his health has to be high, his damage has to be high, or his survivability has to be high. Because if they lack on any of those, he's going to be a low tier healer, I feel like. Right. So we're going to look at his kit. This is leaked. It might change later. This might not even be it. It just might be a fake leak, right? But this is what I found. Dude, I hate these where he gives like a little rundown. Like, I don't give a fuck. So his basic is going to be, I don't even know how to pronounce it, but it's going to be called that. His ultimate is Rage of Ultron. Dude, it would be cool if it was like a swarm from BO2 where it like just carpet bombs the whole fucking map. Dynamic flight, traversal, obviously. Imperative, I don't know what imperative is. I don't know what imperative is. Algorithm correction, passive. Yeah, I don't know what a patch or a firewall. What the fuck? Team up ability, no leaked info. I feel like him and Tony Stark are going to have a team up. I feel like they might switch the Hulk. Because, dude, I love Iron Man and Hulk's team up. It's like, so if you're playing Iron Man as a dive, you don't need that team up at all, bro. You can deal crazy damage, right, if you focus on support. But if you want to be a all-rounder, your best bet is to have a Hulk, right? But I feel like they're going to switch it out, and they're going to give it to Ultron. I feel like I feel like it only makes sense for Ultron and Tony Stark to have a team up, right? But maybe not, dude, because like Punisher and Rocket have a team up, and I don't think that really makes sense. You know, honestly, it would make more sense if Iron Man and Thor had the team up. I think that would make way more sense than Hulk, but the Hulk team up's still really cool. GG, you good, baby? Okay. Anyway, brother. Okay, Rage. Okay, the Ray unleash a burning energy beam. So maybe, if they make it kind of like Emma Frost, where you don't, or I guess not like Emma Frost. If it's a mix between Emma Frost and Scarlet Witch, it'd actually be really cool. You don't reload it; it's just a constant beam, but it doesn't lock on. I feel like that would be pretty cool. What do you mean free up space? I got a bunch of free space. I don't know what the fuck my computer's talking about. Okay, Rage of Ultron. Summon Ultron drones to fire. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Dynamic flight. Fly quickly in the direction of movement and then enter a free flight mode. So kind of like Iron Man. Imperative patch. Command a giant drone to follow an ally, constantly healing allies in its radius with additional healing for the designated ally. That's why he's going to be such a big target, and that's why I feel like people who play DPS or people who play tank, they're not going to switch well with Ultron. Hey, baby, let me finish up. I'll let you out. Let me finish up. But I feel like that's why I think he's going to be a big target, because it's constant heals, and that's why Rocket's a big target too. Not even just Rocket. You could argue Jeff. If it's just any healer that's giving constant heals is going to get targeted. So I feel like that's why Ultron's going to be a pretty big target, and why the flight thing is. It's going to be his biggest flaw. If you don't know how to use it, which, no one's going to know how to use it. Firewall. Summon drones to grant bonus health to allies within range, centered on himself and allies marked with imperative patch. So what, you give him shield? Brother, I thought there was going to be drones that heal and drones that deal damage, dude. He can heal. Oh, that's hard. He can heal and give shield. That's actually pretty hard. And his passive is to fall slowly. Wow. Insane passive, dude. That's fucking insane. But, dude, I think everything else is awesome, bro. What? Dude, I think the only problem I have with these two right here is, or not even just these two, but with Firewall, is the person has to already have patch on. And does the shield stay? Because if the shield don't stay, I don't think Firewall is worth it. I feel like it'd be better to switch it for drones that can deal damage, kind of like Namor squids. But if the shield stays, I think it's completely worth it. I think it's going to be a lot like Zenyatta, right? But instead of like the orbs, because that's why I'm good. That's why I feel like I'm better with Rocket than the rest of the healers, is because Rocket plays a lot like Zenyatta a little bit, right? Where one button heals, the other button does damage. That's kind of like how Zenyatta plays. And I was good with Zenyatta in Overwatch, so. But dude, this is hard. See, like I said, I feel like if they switch this for like damage drones, like Namor squids, I feel like it would be awesome. I feel like I would also be not good as I am with Rocket, but I feel like I'd still be kind of decent because he would play a lot like Zenyatta, and it'd be familiar to me, right? I just wonder if the shield stays. Because like I said, if they don't stay, they need to switch it, right? But I want to see this Rage of Ultron, bro. So the Rage of Ultron, this is your damage drones. See, yeah, that's the damage drones right here. His ult his ult probably doesn't have a high cooldown, does it? It'd probably be a pretty low cooldown, maybe. Might heal allies, kind of like Loki's Mystic. That might be true. But I feel like if he has the drones, if there's no cooldown on the drones, I feel like this doesn't need like a healing thing. Because if that's the case, dude, it's just going to be like Jeff. Right? But if the imperative patch, maybe the Firewall, sure, give it a cooldown, but I feel like with imperative patch. Why are you so loud, baby? Why are you so loud? Hold on. But I feel like with imperative patch, if there's no cooldown, then you went out a few minutes, or not a few minutes ago, but you went out about like 30 minutes to an hour ago. Just give me a second, baby. Both of y'all give me a minute. But I feel like if imperative patch doesn't have a cooldown, I feel like this doesn't need to heal. Even then, it's an attack. But I feel like it shouldn't heal if this doesn't get a cooldown, right? This should get a cooldown. This should get a cooldown. This I don't think should, cause like. Dude, and that's what I don't like about, like, Adam Warlock and shit. Like, I'm fine with reloading my heals, but I don't like having a cooldown on my heals. For real. Because then it's like, if I need it, and I use it, then I need it again. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like it's easier to hold point for me if I don't have a cooldown on my heals, if all I gotta do is reload. So, I don't know. I feel like this shouldn't get a cooldown, though. He can also actively heal his allies with the ability Imperative Patch. It lets Ultron command a giant drone to follow an ally while healing the allies constantly in the radius. The designated ally whom the drone is following gets additional healing. Imperative Firewall is somewhat connected to it. It summons several drones centered on Ultron while granting bonus XP to nearby allies and teammates. Oh, dude, so this is going to be like a walking Loki thing. Oh, that's hard. Oh, shit, dude, that's cool. Oh, okay, never mind, dude. Like, dude, my words are kind of washing away. But, dude, like, this is the problem I have with people who don't think Rocket's, nerf mattered, right? Where his healing's amazing. This is what this is sounding like, right? His healing's amazing, but his mobility sucks now. I don't like Rocket's... Like, I'm still good with them. I prefer the old mobility, right? Where I could... Because I feel like if they decrease the boost and left the cooldown alone, it would be fine. Or if they decrease the cooldown and left the boost distance alone, it would have been fine. My problem is they nerfed both. But as far as I know, I haven't read the movement list yet. This is sounding pretty promising. It sounds like he's on track to be one of the better healers, but not for the first week. Guarantee it, not for the first week. He has 2 traversal abilities. One is dynamic flight, which lets him dash in the direction of the movement and then enter free flight mode. The other is a passive algorithm correction to let you fall slowly. His ultimate, Rage of Ultron. I don't get the wordplay. Summon Ultron drones to fire. Give it a week when people start saying this and I'll be able to pronounce it. I just can't pronounce it. So I'm gonna just call it a beam. Fires a beam to either damage enemies or heal allies. Will it do both? Okay, yeah, then his beam needs a cooldown if it's gonna do both. And never mind, I thought it was just damage. He doesn't have elite team-up ability as of now, but I have a feeling it might somehow involve Iron. Dude, Rocket and Squirrel Girl need a team-up, bro. Look, I love the infinite ammo. I don't think another team... I can't think of another team-up with Punisher that would work apart from the ammo overload, but... Brother, Rocket and Squirrel Girl, they need a ability together. I would love for a Rocket and Squirrel Girl team up. Brother, find something else for Punisher, dude. I feel like there's better ones they could do for Punisher, right? I think it only makes sense for Rocket and Squirrel Girl to have a team up. That's about it. Dude, I think all of the Guardians, kind of like the Avengers, I think like all of them need their own like team up. So I think the Avengers, like the more well-known Avengers, should have a team up together. I think the Guardians should have a team up together. You know, maybe the more well-known X-Men, some of the well-known mutants, like part of the Brotherhood. You know, I feel like that'd be awesome. Like just have team ups and then have the normal team ups, you know. But probably about the end stream, I just wanted to talk about this. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about this because it seems like really interesting now. Because, dude, at first I was like, how's this going to work? I don't think the aerial healer is going to be that good. And now that I'm reading it, I'm like, okay, bro. He's like, it sounds like he's on track to be one of the better healers. But I'd have to wait for him to come to games so I can see that mobility. If his mobility sucks, it could really hurt him. What the fuck do you mean it's not working? It could really hurt him, right? Because you got people like fucking Iron Fist, where they can lock on, dude, and they fuck Iron Man up, dude. So that would be my biggest concern. Is like Spider-Man. You're more vulnerable to like Spider-Man, Iron Man, Wolverine, Iron Fist, like all of them. That's my only concern. But that being said, I'm about to end stream.